Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome to the longest running daily variety show. Day 1843 in a row of the Mark and Pires show. We're here to see if we can elevate a level or two before we go into the day, halfway through the day. At Optimum Online at my house today trying to fix some things, and after 2 weeks of headaches, it looks like we're finally where we should be. We have a functional phone line. Hold on, my phone. This is too much volume. Hold on a second. Hopefully that's better. Still seems like it's hot. I don't know. Anyway, we're here, day 1843. Couple of news stories for you. I got the 1775 Bible over there. This is a call-in show, so if you have anything you want to talk about, give me a ring. 203-903-2255. That's 903-CALL. 203-903-CALL. Very easy to remember. That's why we chose that number. Joanne actually did it. She's back there wheezing extra loud today. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great start to your day. Joanne, please, keep it down. You know, I'm in the middle of it here. Matt Zabrowski's in for a midday woohoo. If you guys don't know about the woohoo, it's the moment of all moments here on the Mark and Pires show. It's when Matt Zabrowski takes a normal level of energy and he brings it up. Hold on a second. Maybe it's here. Maybe that's better. That's a little better. They're starting to peak here, you know? So anyway, how's everybody doing? Say hello if you can. We're going to get into it in a second here. Just got to get that woo-hoo out of the way, you know? Some news stories for you. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have today. Florida man with brain tumor plays guitar during his surgery. Thought that was a pretty cool story. We'll get into it. We also have Japanese scientists capture plants communicating with each other on video. We'll do a quick read of that one. And I think another cool story I saw was that Vladimir Putin says that U.S. past elections were rigged. That's interesting, right? I mean, maybe there was some collusion. Yeah. Or maybe he just, is trying to win his own election. We'll talk about that one as well. Welcome to the Mark and Pires show. Please do me a favor. Hit the bell. Notifications on. We do this twice a day, every day since December 31st, 2018. That is roughly, 1,843 days in a row. Doing it. I got Zabros. Come on, bud. No, finish your yoo-hoo. He goes, you want me to do it now? No, you have to wait till after the song. Zabros. Me more. Hey. So many perfect ways to spend your days. It hit me. Oh, wow. There's something to live for. Yeah. There's something to die for. Yeah. Guys, Zabrowski. I'm ready for a Zabrowski woohoo. How about you guys? Let's hear it, buddy. Midday energy coming at you. In the form of a woohoo. What's that? Oh, he wants me to throw it to him. Go ahead, Zabrowski. Woohoo! Right? Oh, man, that was a good one, Zabrowski. Sometimes he brings it. Sometimes he brings you a Grammy-worthy performance. Zabrowski, you would have won Grammy today. First time in a long time. I'm usually beating him up a little because I want him to bring it for you guys, you know? When Zabrowski comes out and he's not giving you a full woo-hoo, when he's giving you like a half-hoo, I don't like the half-hoos. I want a full hoo, a woo-hoo. No, you could drink another yoo-hoo. Zabrowski. Anyway, guys, welcome to the Mark and Pires show. It's a little comedy, a little music, and some, I guess, connecting. That, to me, is the whole goal of this show, is to bring us together for a little time every day on this YouTube channel. So please join us over there. I got Chris Donaldson, Trish Killian's here, Hilly Billy, NG17 kicking it with me. Oh, goodness. It's always a good time when you see Hilly in the house, right, guys? And Barella, my brother's here with me. And I love it when you guys are all here with me at the beginning of the show. Let's see if we could share and get some more of your family and friends here. This is a family show. It's funny, along the way we had one of our subscribers called in. We had a nice conversation. He said, I want you to realize, the numbers say something there, but I'm watching with my kids. I'm watching with my parents. He's like, you got 3 generations of family members that watch your show every day. I was like, what? Never thought about the impact, because the impact is to bring the family together. The family unit is being destroyed, decimated. And what we do here is try to bring a cohesive family connection for us. We all lose that connection, not only from our own families, but also from the people that we trusted and knew when we were younger. So I tell my kids all the time, like, look, don't spend so much time focusing on these high school friendships and putting so much stock into these different events that take place while you're young, because you're probably not going to talk to any of these people when you get older. And it's no offense to anybody that I did go to school with, but we don't talk, right? And like, it's just the reality of life. You progress into more responsibility and into bigger responsibilities than these little, trivial events and these conversations and the little, oil in the water that takes place between people over the years. It's amazing to me how I really don't talk to anybody that I went to high school with. Like, I'm friends with them on Facebook. They don't even support the show. I don't know any of these people anymore, and like when I was younger, it was so important to me to be part of something. And you know what I realized when I got to senior year? This is a really good teaching moment. All through high school, my two best friends, we'd hang out together. It's a very small group of us. We'd hang out, and we had such a great time hanging out together for about 3 years. Freshman, sophomore, junior year, we hanging out just exclusively. There's this tight group, like 3 to 4 people. That was it. And then all of a sudden, and we were always like, we want to be at that clique. We want to be with that party. There were these, like, I moved into town in 8th grade, and at that time, everybody had their cliques. And one of the cliques is like the popular crew. And I was never part of the popular crew. And all my friends, we were not part of the popular crew. We were part of our own group, and we were like in the middle. I was friends with everybody, but I was not part of their group. And it was because they made friends with each other in kindergarten, and they spent 8 years becoming like best of friends, playing baseball together and football and all these things. And I come in 8th grade. Of course, I'm not going to be welcome into their groups, but I should have known better. I'm thinking like everybody else, oh, you want to be with the popular group. And so for 3 years, I tried to be in this popular group with my friends. We thought it was important because everybody wanted to do that. This is my getting back to, don't do what everybody else is doing. Everybody's doing it. That was the saying at the time. And so everybody wants to be in this popular group. And so for 3 years, we're gaming to try to get to the parties to be in this popular group. And you always get uncomfortable when you're around these people because they don't even want you around. They're like focused on each other and you're standing there. It's so awkward. And tell me if you know what I'm talking about, if you've been through this before. And so senior year comes around, and all of a sudden something weird happened where people decided they wanted to all connect, kind of like what I'm talking about now. I'm like, guys, let's all be friends. Let's all get together. Let's invite everybody to the parties. That's what all these popular kids started doing in senior year. Let's get everybody out. And so we're starting to get these invites to these parties that we never got before. And I specifically remember going to this one party. The most popular kid in school had a party at his house. And so I go there with my best friends, my 2 best friends, and all of them. And there's some other people there that I knew, and we were all kind of hanging out. But the interesting thing to me was all these people, this clique, this popular group, they spent their entire party just all in on each other. I literally remember sitting right next to 2 people, and they talked to each other for 5 minutes and just ignored that I was there. It was like baffling to me. And we get done with this party, and I know one of my other friends seemed to have a better time than I did about this because he was more of a tag along. I'm not. I'm a leader. So I get to the end of this party, and I told my friend, I said, look, I'm not going to these parties anymore. I have more fun with you guys. I realized in that moment I have no interest in being around people that don't want to be around me. I realized in that moment I want to be around people that lift me up. I want to be around the people that make me feel great about myself. These guys make me feel like shit. And that's when I realized, like, why would anybody want to be part of the popular group if they're just a bunch of dicks? And I'm not saying they are a bunch of dicks, but they were so focused on their own clique that they made us feel like shit. And I was like, I don't want this. And then I thought it's interesting that all of a sudden they wanted us to be at their parties at the end of the year, and we didn't want to go. Like, I don't want to go to that party. I do have to say I'm glad I went to one of them in the summer, and that's where I saw Sean Ryan playing guitar. And when I saw Sean play the guitar for the first time, I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, I listened to hip hop when I was younger. Like, I had no idea I could play music. I had no idea I had any musical talent at all. And I didn't pick up an instrument until I was 18 years old, guys. I have 209 songs on iTunes and Spotify, but I didn't even know. I'm the inventor of the only drum in the world for guitar players. I patented this drum. That there's only one drum for guitar players, and I patented it. But I didn't even know I had any musical ability till I was 18 years old. And that's something you have to realize. You're really on a journey trying to figure out who the hell you are. It takes a long time. So don't be frustrated with the journey. The journey is, the process. They always say you have to enjoy the process because it's hard. When things start to come easy, you start to get comfortable. You don't want to be comfortable. You want to constantly be moving. You want to be sharp. And so I didn't feel good when I was around these kids. And I realized as a 17-year-old kid, this isn't the life I want to lead. I don't want to be around people just because they're cool, just because they have money or whatever. I'm going to go be around them when they make me feel like a piece of garbage. No interest in that. And don't know what that was their intention. Like, I could also see a world where all these guys are like, guys, let's invite them all over and ignore them. Like, I could see it. That's how much of jerks some of these kids were. But like, that's the thing you have to realize. I tell my kids all the time, there are jerks. Kids are jerks. There are some really mean kids. And I don't know where they learn it, but they're freaking rotten. And you go through high school and it's like you learn who your friends are. You learn who your enemies are. And you do your best not to create new enemies. But you have to understand that none of these people, almost to the 100%, maybe 97% of the people, you will never see or speak to again. And we're so concerned about everything, every day to day. And I told my daughter, she was like upset about something the other day. I was like, you realize you're not even going to talk to that girl one day, right? What do you mean? I guarantee you, when you're 35 and you're married and you have kids, you'll never speak to that girl again. You're concerned about it right now. Like, I understand you're in the moment and like it's a big deal because you're 14 years old. But this is not anything in the grand scope of your life. This is just like learning that none of this stuff matters is very important to you at this age. If you can figure that out early enough, and that you're not putting so much stock into these little relationships in high school that don't matter. I used to have this it was really funny. Every year I'd have a new best friend in high school. That's why I said it was a small group. One year was Jason. The next it was Garcia and Billy, my two best friends probably throughout high school. But Jason was one of my best friends for a year. And then Steve was, so I was like, I had all these different groups of people that were always close to me and really cool and made me feel awesome when we hung out. But it was the people that had their cliques and then you're around them that made me just feel like this is not where I want to be. And I hope you guys can relate to that in some way. Freelancers here. I got Hilly Billy taking it and NG. So I don't know, guys. Did you ever have that? Or did you feel the same thing when you were in high school? That there was kind of this weird vibe and then now you're 30 or 25, 40 years old and you don't even talk to these people anymore. And again, it's not like completely. There's still a couple of my friends I'm in contact with, but I'm saying to the 99 percentile, like these people that you have relationships with or you're concerned about how they feel about you really mean nothing at the end of the day because they're doing their own thing with their own families and their own lives and no one's back in that high school world, You go from one world to a bigger world. And I think once you go to that bigger world, you don't look back. It's almost like being desensitized, like when you are so excited about something and then after a while it just becomes like, that's almost what like high school was. It was the biggest deal in the world. And then you're all of a sudden in a bigger world in college and then you're in the real world. And it's like, whoa, what about that first world? That one that was so important. It's like you still talk to your 5 or 6 friends. That's it. Like my brother-in-law has these 3 friends from high school he still hangs out with all the time. That's an example to me of like, okay, you went to school with 1,200 people and 3 of them are your friends. So I just listen to this. Hilly said I went to a party once with my buddy Chip. As soon as I went inside, someone shoved a bowl of chips at me and said, "Here, Hilly, have a chip." That's hilarious, Hilly. Oh goodness, I'll tell you what. A little comic relief is always appreciated. That is funny because one of the kids' name was Chip. That was one of the part of the popular group. But so, you'd think that is very much like hi, my name is Chip, welcome to my party, it's Chip, so, but anyway, I just think in general, you got to realize that this moment is always moving and all these things that are happening in our moment throughout our lives are so big to us. And then they start to fade away as bigger things take place in this moment. And it's like I'm trying to keep that in the forefront of my life at this point, that everything that happened, even right this second, is now behind us. And like this second is freaky, man, because I was born in it. I'm going to die in this second, just like you. And that's freaking freaky to me in a way. Like I never really thought about it in those terms before. But when this was created, whatever it is, this moment existed right here that we're in. and like it will be here after we're gone. And when the final cataclysm of everything takes place, it's right in this moment, guys, as well. And that to me just blows my mind when you think in those terms. Because then you're forced to realize that your life is so short, and it's literally a breath from God, Yahweh. And that's it in this entire existence of ours. But this moment is continuing on, and that's why we need to make an impact with the time we have right here. And that's why I'm so afraid to create stains in this moment. I don't want that. I don't want anybody looking back at this moment, in this moment in the future, looking back at right now and saying, oh, well, this person did that and that person did that, and what a group of horrible people lived at that time. Something really freeing about thinking about this too, guys, that it all is right here, you know, and every single thing that ever happened is right here. It's kind of freaky, man. It's kind of freaky. You can't get away from... I have this song called I Need to Be Alone. It says, I can't get away. No, I can't get away from me. And that's kind of what the moment is. We can't get away from the moment. It is the only thing we'll ever know. And if you don't know it, and you don't realize at the forefront of your existence, every single second, that's it. There's nothing else behind us or in front of us. We have to somehow move with this moment. And that is a responsibility in itself, guys. Just knowing that we're carrying on a message that's going to go forward. And it's happening right now. We could create the change or we could destroy it, but that's right in this very second. And the weird thing is, like, I feel like the powers that be that continue to divide us and distract us understand that. Okay, guys, everybody's right here, so let's just keep pound them. Just keep pounding them from the left, from the right, with all kinds of things to keep them away from it. That's what it seems like. Because everything distracts me, you know? And then I step back. I'm like, wait a second. No, I'm here. I got to do it now. I can't wait and say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. There's only now. So if I think about something, I have to do it now. Because that's when it matters. And this is a new philosophy for me too. Like I'm definitely a procrastinator when it comes to those things. I'm like, oh, you know what'd be pretty cool? I'll do that next week. No, if you thought about it now, because now is the only thing that exists, just do it. You may get through to the person you're trying to reach now, and you won't next week. And I gotta stop pushing things off because of what I just thought about. It's accurate. You know, this is it. I don't know if I got next week. You know what I mean? We don't know what we have. But we do know that right this second we can do something. And that's why I keep staying optimistic about tomorrow, you know? So if you guys have any questions about that or anything else, let me know. This is a call-in show. You can call in if you'd like. It's 203-903-CALL. Or you could shoot a couple questions here on the screen, and I will read them out loud. Let's see. I got a couple things that came through, so let me see what's here. The schools definitely have crazy groups. I didn't have such a thing, but my daughters did. There was no individuality. That's pretty interesting. That's true. At our 10 and 20-year reunion, it was a sound of crickets, Trish said. Hilly Billy said, whoa, I just got notified from Mark Pires' live. Nothing gets by YouTube. It was like 3 hours late. Oh, there goes my camera. Let me get it back on. So Hilly said, wait till your 40th, Trish. You know, it's funny, Hilly, I went to, and Trish, I went to my 20th, I think it was, the last one we had. And it was interesting, to say the least, you know. Just seeing people after 20 years. And again, when you don't talk to them for 20 years. Just, oh, what have you been up to? You know, it's like a lot of just weird stuff like that. Oh, very cool to see you, you know. How's life been the last 20 years when you were like a friend of mine 21 years ago? You know? NG17, what kind of future does one want for their children? And what does one do to make it happen? It's a good question. Speaking of things in the moment, most humans do not realize that our vision is not live action, but rather our eyes taking continuous string of still shots. Whoa, Hilly, hitting us. Wait, hold on a second. Speaking of things in the moment, most humans do not realize that our vision is not live action, but rather our eyes taking continuous strings of still shots. Wow, I never thought about that, and I didn't even know that. That's amazing. So we're taking thousands or millions of screenshots per second because it looks freaking live action to me. You know? Hilly said, I didn't know anyone at my last reunion. It was a bunch of old folks that I didn't recognize. I guess that also happens at a certain point. You show up and people are bald and gray and like, it's just, they don't look the same, you know? I think I still look the same, but I have a feeling that's also a thing where you always think you look the same even though you don't, like at all. Like Madonna thinks that she looks the same. Have you seen her lately? That ain't right, you know? But she's probably like, I look great. I think we get, like, that's the other thing. These people, who was it who said it? Courtney Cox. She's very upset because the plastic surgeons have just botched her, right? And she's like, you know what? The thing is, no one told me how bad it was getting because people don't want to be mean. And I was like, that's interesting. We're in such a sensitive world where people don't say the truth anymore and they allow people to destroy themselves. And she said, I kept seeing this progression and I didn't see it as bad because I kept seeing it just getting a little different than what I had. And I'd lost all my perspective of what I used to look like. But her friends and loved ones wouldn't let her know. Courtney, maybe you should stop with those lip fillers. You know, it looks like you're about to swallow a freaking Yugo, you know? But no, she didn't get that information. She didn't get that advice from her friends. Trish said, Haley, I don't know what it takes to go to a 40th, but, oh, Haley, you got to be strong to be with people you haven't seen and still act like you're in high school. It's very true. I agree. So anyway, I think that these are all interesting stories because high school's like, it seemed so long to me. I don't know. Didn't it seem like it was forever? Every day I was there and it's like all these weird drama events going on a daily basis. And like the girl you liked, all the stuff is just like, you could look back and you're like, geez, I can't believe I put so much into that. What the heck? That's why I love it when I see some entrepreneurial kid in high school doing something. I'm like, that kid doesn't give a crap about all that other stuff. They see it already, that none of it matters. It's just a distraction. And so anyway, that's my high school story for you. And as far as what we do in order to provide a better opportunity for our kids, what does our future look like for our children? What does one do to make it happen? Now that's a very interesting and good question. I'll just answer with what we're trying to do and see if that helps at all. My wife is a firm believer in, first of all, we have to make sure we take the tech out of their hands as often as possible. It's tough because I'm so connected, so it's hard for me they see me. It's like a weird thing. But also outside of that, it's gotta be a strict home. Families should be eating together again, sitting around the table, discussing their day. And we find we're not even doing that as much ourselves. We're always on the move, but like that's what this world is trying to do, is keep us away from that family connection. And they want to create this total individual world where people don't think they need each other and they don't trust anybody anymore. It's kind of weird to see it all taking place because the nuclear family was like ingrained in life when I was growing up. And now it's like the complete opposite. No, don't just grab a quick bite on the run. It's like all of this stuff matters. But also, I think it's important to have a parent home. And it's freaking hard, guys. It's hard. I'm a real estate agent and I have to sell real estate to make a living. And, you know, that's to us, like latchkey kids don't do well. They just like come home from school and they walk right in and do whatever they want, the parties and all that stuff. So it's a struggle. It's very, very hard to do it. That's why I'm always trying to remind you guys I sell real estate. Please keep me in mind for any leads or referrals. I can send you the best agent in the United States. I just need to know about it. And it's cost you absolutely nothing to do this. So whenever you're curious about interviewing an agent, call 3 people. Let me call the 4th for you. You pay the same whoever you choose. But if you like my person more, that's great. It helps the show. And I want to try to have a really massive referral business this year, just helping all of our family members in the United States. So Hilly got lip fillers like 14 times, but it kept falling onto my chest. The upshot is now I have a nice rack. Hilly's always got a couple pieces of comedy for us over here. Oh, goodness. So anyway, that's basically my story. I'm sticking to it. You know, I wasn't part of the popular group. No, definitely not. And I've never known what that felt like. Just somebody who tried to get through high school with my friends and learned a few life lessons while I was there, you know. And I think they're important to learn. And I learned them at the right time. I think if I had learned them any later, it would have been a devastating, for me to think that these people matter, you know? And again, no offense to anybody I went to high school with, but we don't talk, and I've been here for 5 years in a row every day. I never see you pop in and be like, hey, I went to high school with you. So like, whatever. I've been here trying to connect with you, by the way. But that's just, again, New Jersey too. Like I went to school and the same thing up to 7th grade. It was crazy. I had a bully, but it wasn't one. It was two guys when I was in 7th grade. And that was an experience, a full year. Just, I often connect how these bullies these days have it so much worse, or the kids that get bullied, because after school is a whole other set of bullying. I used to remember specifically I'd get beat on daily by these two big kids. One of them was shaving already. I was always a small kid. And my fault was in art class, the first week of school, these two kids were beating on this kid that was about my size. Mike Citron, his name was. I think it was Mike Citron. I always think about that. I can't remember if that's his name. But this kid who reminds me of Mike Citron, because I think Mike Citron was actually from New Canaan. Anyway, this kid was getting picked on. And I said 5 words that changed my life. Hey guys, leave him alone. That was it. One of them goes, we'll stop picking on him. We're going to beat you up now. Literally, that's what he said to me. And every day for the entire school year until actually it was one full school year, until about 4 weeks before the end of the school year. I'd walk down the hall, and every time I turned a corner, I thought I was going to get thrown against the locker, because a lot of times I did. A lot of times I'd turn a corner and they were standing right there. And it was never like one of them alone. They were always together. And they'd always beat the hell out of me. Now, they never hit me in the face. So one thing I could say, that was at least the takeaway. I was like, okay, I'm just going to get punched in the chest, punched in the arms, punched in the back by 2 guys thrown up against the locker. And the weird thing is I was in G Wing. There was A through H, and I was in G Wing. And the entire G Wing would stand around and watch it happen. I was like the entertainment, getting my ass kicked by these 2 kids. And so my only saving grace, I love this kid more than anything. His name is Mike Green. Mike Green, and he said this, he goes, I was nuts. I was like, because I still don't know why he would do this. I'd be getting beat up by these 2 kids, Rich and John. And through the crowd, because there was always a crowd standing around, enjoying me get my ass kicked. Through the crowd, I'd see people start being like, oh, and then like, freaking like a freight train, Mike Green would come through that crowd, throw his backpack down, grab one of the kids, throw him up against the locker, grab the other kid against, he's punching these kids in the chest, he's punching, and I'm like, oh, like I couldn't fight. I was like this little pipsqueak. I don't know why I didn't help him. I would just stand there like in shock as I saw Mike Green beating 2 guys up, because he was like a big dude. And Mike Green was my guardian angel. And I often think that in our lives, we have guardian angels at all times watching over us. And it's not who you think it would be. Mike Green wasn't my best friend at that time. One of my best friends, Manny Montalbano, he would stand around and watch me get my ass kicked. He was small too. I don't blame him. He would have gotten his ass kicked too if he stepped in and said, guys, leave Mark alone. So he sat there and he probably enjoyed watching me get beat up because it wasn't him. But Mike Green didn't give a freaking flying hell. That kid flew through the crowd. He'd beat these guys up, punch them, and then it was broken up by the teachers almost all the time. But without Mike Green, guys, I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't have taken my life, I can tell you that, but I don't know what I would have done. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And so I had this daily ass kicking, and it was like I couldn't even focus on school. I couldn't even focus on learning because I was worried in between classes of running into these guys. Every time I'd start looking at the clock, I could still remember this, looking at the clock and just thinking like in 2 minutes I'm going to go get my ass kicked. Because I was so small, I was so afraid to say anything to like my brothers. And eventually what happened was somehow the principal found out, and this is after the entire year. Somehow the principal finds out, and I go home, and again, I was like this kid in a shell at this point. And I get home, and my parents sit me there like, what's going on at school? I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And my brothers are there, and they're pissed off. And they're like, what do you mean? They're like, we heard these guys are beating you up. And I was like, and I just didn't know what to do. I think I cried, and I was like, man, I don't know how to protect myself, you know? And I remember my brother, Michael, He goes, this is what you're going to do. And this is nuts. He goes, you see this lock? He takes out one of those padlocks. He goes, you see this lock? He goes, you're going to hold it in your hand behind your back. And when you see him tomorrow and these guys and they start coming over at you, when they walk up to you, before they could even push you, before they could even start punching, he goes, you just take that arm from behind your back and you swing as hard as you can. And you hit him right here with this metal piece. And he goes, when he hits the ground, he goes, I want you to stand over him and kick him in the chest as hard as you can until he starts spitting up blood. I swear, my brother's telling me this. My other brother's like, yeah. They're older than me. So they're like, yeah. And then do this and stomp it. I'm like, I didn't say stomp, but my brother said literally, knock him down. And as soon as he's down, you kick him in the chest until he starts spitting up blood. And that was his way of saying, fuck you, And so I went in the next morning and I had that lock in my hand. I still remember it. I was freaking out. I was shaking. Because I never fought back. I just took it, And so I get there and I'm like, I'm sitting by the lockers. I remember I'm there with Manny and I'm there with a few other the kids from my class. And all of a sudden, John Bruno and fucking Rich Romanali or whatever the hell his name was walk up. And I'm like, here it comes. Here it comes. And as soon as they get like within distance, my friend Manny goes, hey, John, you going to beat Mark up again today? And he goes, no, we're done with Mark. And I was like, I was like white. I'm sure I was like just totally like pale in the moment. I was so nervous. And he goes, no, we're done with Mark. And I remember putting that lock back inside my backpack, still wanting to go over and punch that dude in the face as hard as I could with it. I put it away, and I can never understand why they stopped. But as I'm older, I realize what happened. The principal found out, as I said. I think the principal was the one who called my parents, and then the same night he must have also called their parents and said, your kids are torturing this kid in school. If they do it again, they're going to be expelled. That's what I have to imagine happened. So I never had my resolve. I never had the chance to fight back and to hit them that time and get it all out. But I also know, knowing what I know now, that if I did, I may have not been able to stop, first of all. Secondly, with that padlock that my brother was lovingly telling me to protect myself with, it would have been considered a deadly weapon. And who knows where I'd be today. I can guarantee you I wouldn't be the host of the longest running daily variety show. Something else would have happened to me, to my trajectory. Who knows, I may have liked fighting. I don't like fighting. Who knows? If I hit the guy and I liked it, I may be an MMA guy. Who knows? But the point is, that was a traumatic experience in my life. To have a full year of being tortured by two kids that were much bigger than me for saying, hey guys, leave him alone. But guys, every day at 2:50, when that bell rang, I could get the fuck out of there. I could get away from it. I had from 2:51 until 7:50 the next morning in order to just be free and not have to worry about those two dickheads. But today, you leave at 2:51 and immediately you're getting pinged with a text. We're coming for you. You better not leave your house. Like, I could just imagine. So yeah, it's pretty messed up now. 2024, anybody out there who's being bullied has to deal with it for 24, not just for the school day. So that's where my mind goes. That's where my heart goes when I think about bullying. As I was a victim of it at a time when no one gave a shit. Now it's like you get immediately in trouble if you bully. I dealt with it for like 9 months, guys. Every day of my life, or for the school life. And I only had Mike Green. Freaking love you, Mike Green. I know you're out there. He's out in Delaware, I think. He's a chef now. I love Mike. But he was my brother. I wrote a really great piece on Facebook about this years ago. I actually should find it and read it for you one day, because I detailed the entire experience, very similar to what I just said to you, actually, so I probably don't have to read it. But he responded on Facebook, and he goes, man, I had no idea that this was that big a deal. You know, it's like, it's funny, something that's so massive to you, the guy who was your savior, your Superman, had no idea it was that big a deal. He goes, man, I had no idea that that was such a traumatic and such a large experience. You know, he goes, I was just helping a friend. He goes, I'm just a crazy guy who's willing to help his friend. And when he said that, I was like, how lucky was I to have a crazy friend willing to go in there and fight for me, not with me, for me. Man, that is something. That's guardian angel type stuff. And so, as I reflect on being live 5 years in a row every single day, trying to bring this world together, and then thinking about the world and stuff like that, like Mike Green, the Mike Green's existence in my life, in my moment that's never ended. Man, this thing's, is it going to pause like at all? Or, sheesh. It's the same moment. That's why I think we're able to have these, like, you know, when you're all of a sudden you've got this moment and you're just thinking to yourself, this is more deja vu than I've ever experienced. Like, I know I've lived this moment before. Yes, you have. It's the one moment. It's the moment I got my ass kicked by these people and Mike Green jumped out of through the crowd and he fought for me. It happened right now. Time is weird. We just think about it in terms of days, but it's really one day that never ends. Pires, you remind me of an MMA fighter, Ryan Hall. Not the weatherman, but the dude looks like a paper boy that couldn't hurt a fly, but he's a human python. Really? Check him out. It's funny. I used to joke around. My friend Jermaine was like ridiculous at martial arts. And he used to do these cool kicks and this like crazy kick over your top of your head. And I've shown you guys I could do it a few times before, but I never hit anybody. I've never done any of that. But like I used to joke around with him and we do like shadow boxing and stuff. And he taught me some stuff. And he used to be like, dude, you're really quick. Like you'd be a really good fighter. I'm like, I don't want to fight. I don't like people. I don't want to fight with people. I don't want to hit anybody. But I'm pretty sure with my reflexes and, you know, what I do with a guitar, I feel like anything that I've put my mind to in my life, I can excel at if I just put the time in, and then I can master if I put my real time in. So if I wanted to fight and be the best fighter, I would have just gone in that direction and I would have done what I do with the guitar in a fighting capacity. I just hate fighting. I don't want to get hit. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I got my ass kicked by these people in 7th grade. I don't like getting hit. Don't want to get hit. When I moved to Connecticut, I remember when I was from New Jersey. And so when I come to Connecticut, we speak differently here. People in Connecticut and New Jersey there's a little bit of an accent in New Jersey. I'd say things like baseball. I'm going to play some baseball. You know, I didn't know any better. That's what it sounded like in New Jersey my whole life. You say Sarah. Here it's Sarah. In New Jersey, it's Sarah. Here in Connecticut, basketball. Baseball. And I'm over-exaggerating. It's baseball. Basketball. But down in New Jersey, basketball. Baseball. You hear it? So when I came here and I'm saying, hey guys, you want to go play baseball? They're like, oh yeah, you want to go play baseball? Let's go play baseball, Jersey boy. I was called Jersey boy for like 4 years. Do you guys know how much I relished that? That I wasn't getting my freaking face pounded in, my chest pounded in and thrown against lockers? It's like, you want to make fun of my accent? You want to make fun of my outfit today? Oh, go ahead, dude. I didn't give a shit about the mental, you know, bullying because I was literally physically bullied for a full year. So when I came here and I was like the new kid who had a funny accent because he's from New Jersey and that's what they wanted to pick on, I was like, whatever, dude, bring it on. Didn't bother me at all, you know? And that's, I think, also a graduation from having a physical abuse to just being like someone trying to get at you, like sticks and stones type of stuff. I was like, whatever, dude. Yeah, okay, I wore Argyle socks today. You know, it's just like everything was so much easier to deal with. I don't mind someone trying to pick on me and make fun of me. Oh, yeah, that's funny, stupid. I'm a comedian. I don't really care about that, you know, so I never really was bothered. But to me, I just don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't come up and hit me. Don't throw me against lockers because you're a dick. Because I said, hey guys, leave him alone. I couldn't believe. I still see that moment. That dude's getting beat up by these two kids. Class is over, and I go, hey guys, leave him alone. Oh man, that led to a year of torture. But remember, everything in your life leads you somewhere, right? No, I don't. It wasn't a good moment to be in to have that happen. But it's a part of who I am, you know. And maybe that's also why I have so much to give, is because I feel like we could be better. We could be better than those guys were. And we could all be a Mike Green for this world. And we can step up when others around us need it and be guardian angels. That's why I'm trying to explain to you, you may see someone that you can assist be the guardian angel. You don't have to know them, but you do know them. They're your brother. They're your sister. They're your soul brother or sister. So open up your heart and do what Mike Green would do. That's all I can say. Oh, goodness. Hey, guys, Renee's here. Billy Thomas, and if you're seeing that, that's Renee. I don't know if she's ever tried to keep that from us, but that's what we got over there. Helen Gale's in the house. You rock, Helen. Chris Donaldson. Yes, you do have a sister. We all have sisters and brothers. Ooh, Burla said, how different would Mark Inspire sound as you're entering the octagon?
Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, wearing the shorts that say go yourself, Mark Inspire!
Don't try, motherfucker! Right? I come out, I'm elbowing people right in the fotch. You know, sometimes you got to give them a forearm shiver, you know? I'm doing a Mean Gene Oakland. You know, if I do it, I'm doing a Mean Gene Oakland. Either that or Rowdy Piper. Like, if I'm going to get into it, you got to get into it. You know, you do it the right way. What's that? Zabras. Zabras says I should do George the Animal Steel. You want me to chew on the turnbuckles? Zabras. Why don't you drink another Yoo-hoo? Right? Wants me to chew on the turnbuckle. No, if I was going to do it, I'd probably do Superfly Snuka. I'm jumping off the corner. Flipperoo. Yeesh. Elbowing down. MMA just took a whole new turn. Jumping off the cage, Superfly Jimmy Snuka style. You know, I got the Tongan brothers too. You know, I think that's what they were called. Joanne. What? Iron Sheik? Joanne? Joanne said she would go with Iron Sheik. I think that's what she said. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything but the wheeze. So. Joanne. Oh my goodness, and she tooted. Oh, gosh almighty, Joanne, you know, you're the worst. You need a promo video, Pires, of you flexing and donning man stuff. Feed a tractor or carrot. You're funny, buddy. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty funny thing. I've got a lot of crazy things planned to shoot, and we have to do many of them. But I would like to, I was thinking of, man, I'd like to just get someone to join me and go out and start interviewing people on the street. You know, asking them questions about life. You know, what do you think is important? Oh, I gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go pay your bills. That's freaking true. I don't know. I'll tell you, this is the quandary we're faced with. It's like, we gotta work our asses off all the time in order to get through this life. And then they're also like, or I'm also like, get to the moment. It's like, nah, how can I get to the moment, man? I got to go out. Like, after I finish this up, guys, I got to go out and make 50 phone calls and try to find a new piece of business. I need to find a listing. I got to find a buyer. Like, there's no time to stay centered. And that's why I like being able to do this here with you. It's like, okay, look, let me just rephrase what I've been saying for the last 15 years here. Show up here. We'll get to the moment. I know that once I finish here, it's going to be very hard for us all to do that because life exists beyond these doors. So take this moment that we get to share together as something, a reprieve from getting distracted. That's basically what we got, you know. I get distracted the moment I'm off air. I got to go and think about something that's not here in the moment. I'm thinking about who I can call and when I met them, or is there a lead that I can try to go and reach out to? And all these things are like distractions from this beautiful moment we have. And it sucks. It really sucks. That's why in a perfect world, everybody's got what they need and we can center. We can just be here in the moment with the creator of all or with each other and do positive things for mankind. But I think a lot of the evil acts that take place in this world are in order for people to achieve personal means, like make money. And they'll do things that are against their integrity in order to pay bills. And you see it all the time. It's like there's a study that someone did where like, look, if you were sitting over in front of a red button and all you had to do was push that, and every single day your family were fed and they can have a warm place to stay and they never went hungry. All you had to do is push that button. But when you push that button, you're killing people across the world. You're just killing people. You push the button, they die, but you get to eat. There's a lot of people in this world that would push that button because they don't want to see their children that are starving and suffering. And so there's people making decisions that are not for mankind in order to survive. And I do wonder, I don't think we should not be a capitalist society. Like, you should be able to earn something of your own and make it really, really amazing. But I wonder the idea that the philanthropy starts later for these people when they're like 80 years old. They're like, I'm going to give away my wealth. Like, you just wonder, like, if you were donating instead of to like causes that blow all that money on shit and it doesn't go really to what it's supposed to go to, but you're getting a write-off, you know what I mean? Does that really matter for you is the question. Or wouldn't it be better? Helen Gale, thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. You are amazing. $20. Wow, you are amazing. Let me read this real quick. Mark, this is for you because I want you to be encouraging to keep going with your channel. Since I got led here, I have enjoyed, laughed, and forgot the evilness of the world. So don't let people get you down. Keep your chin up. Helen, thank you so much. That is the kindest, supportive message, and it comes at the perfect time. Absolutely. And that is what this show is intended to do. So when I hear someone say that, that means the world to me. Keep going with your channel. Since I was led here, I have enjoyed, laughed, and forgot the evilness of this world. That's the key. Just for a few minutes every day, guys, if you can come to a place where we're lifting each other up, getting a piece of music or comedy, and something truthful. That's powerful stuff. So thank you so much, Helen. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, I think we all do. Trish said, thank you, Helen. That's amazing. Thank you. We all need a little pat on the back once in a while. That's absolutely true. You know, we're all human, you know, and I don't really have much of a sounding board here. We talk about that sometimes. I notice people will put out a piece of content and there's lots of comments to kind of go back and engage. It's kind of rare that I get shown when I put out a piece of content. So there's 40, 50 views on 13,700 people. So I don't know really what people think. I don't know if they like it. So when I see something like that, it does mean a lot. Because I am trying to, I've shown up every day for a reason. It's to provide some safe haven away from this crappy world for just a little bit every day. And I don't know, as far as, I did assume at some point some news corporation would be like, what, how many days in a row have you been live? Like, what? That's like Guinness worthy, isn't it? Like, I don't know, let's do a story on it, but still no stories. Still, I think relatively few people in the world know I've been doing this. But it's the one thing that I can say has been 100% honest for the last 5 years is this show. It may not be the way you feel. You may not like everything I say. You may say, I don't really agree with that point of view. But it's the truthful point of view coming out of me. Nothing's whitewashed and nothing's being manipulated in your mind in the moment. This is literally what I see as the creation of existence speaking. We all have the ability to connect to it when we center ourselves in this second here. So, gosh, that's the second time that camera went off. If you guys haven't yet on TikTok, please head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Yeah, tell me about that. You see, I know, tell me about it. Well, this is, I see you. I appreciate you very much. Isn't that crazy? Powerful moments happen here every single day for 5 years in a row, and they won't let me find more people. They won't let me get to more people. I think what we say here matters, and that's why I keep showing up. But it is quite curious to me. After this run, no matter when I'm live, I can never get to people. It's like, either it's the worst show in history, or they really are afraid of me. I don't think it's the worst show in history. So, when someone has a message that can bring people together, that is not popular in 2024. They're looking for someone who's going to divide us, and so that's why all you see is division. And I know that to be true because the couple of pieces of content and news stories that I have dropped on TikTok that are like, oh, a new virus that turns you into a zombie. That got 1.3 million or 1.6 million views on TikTok. It's the only thing of mine that's gone viral on TikTok is when I did the doom and gloom zombie story. All the other ridiculously awesome content we drop on a daily basis for who knows how many pieces of content have been dropped on all these platforms. They just go sit on the wayside and they promote the doom and gloom. But you can't control this. I think I can't control this. The only thing I could hope is that someone's going to come across this platform with a big enough following that says, no. You're not going to keep this from the world any longer. And we're going to do our part to spread the word. Like another creator on YouTube with like 38,000 subscribers did a piece of content on my 1775 Bible today. So I just thanked him for doing that. And all of a sudden I see he's got 50 comments in 16 seconds. I'm like, isn't that amazing? I can't get any reaction or like my stuff's been there for months now. It doesn't get seen. I mean, there's 5,000 views, 6,000 views because of the first guy who's got 1 million or 4.3 million subscribers who did a piece of content on it. But I find it interesting that it's well received when people are doing content of my content, but they won't show my content. So, I don't know. I think the songs, the music that we create here nightly is special. There's something really special about here living in the moment and taking a guitar out. And there's nothing going on, guys. Then all of a sudden and now we have a little music. So, yeah, we should have more people that are here for the music alone. Never mind the positive words that come out on a daily basis. So, it is 51 minutes, 52 minutes into the show. Let me see if I can play you a little something here, get us into the day. I am sitting on the only drum in the world for guitar players. I invented this drum. You can go to BeatSeat.rocks and check it out in person.
At Eversource, when a serious storm knocks out the power, we are
They
there,
always knock
working
out the
through
power.
the storm,
The
working
serious
quickly and
storms
safely.
do. All right, thank you, Eversource. All right. Really quick, we'll play something here. Anybody have a topic for me? Have you seen the Book of Eli? I haven't seen that yet. It's interesting, but I haven't watched TV in 5 years. Since I started the show, I come out here and put on my own show of positivity and connection every day and creation. And I haven't looked back at the negatube. I call it the negatube because everything on TV seems to take me out of what's important in life. So we show up and try to do things that are important. Let's see what happens. Who has a topic for me? S-Coop's in the house. Nice. That's weird. Fade from black. Don't talk back, they don't put you on the shelf. Don't put you on the top shelf. Yeah, you can't find it unless you move everything aside. We're all secluded in our own minds. Yeah, they won't let you break away from all of the lies. No, they wanna keep you right where they got you. Take a moment. We only got a moment of time. What you gonna do is yours, my friend, yes. We're all moving through it together. It's not like you got your own, you know. There's only one for all and all for one, yeah. Well, can be the light of the sun. We could take away what we want to know, but we're all distracted in the clouds. Just a little jammeroo for you, midday. I didn't have anything to sing. I couldn't think of anything good. Tried to improvise something, but it just wasn't very good vocally. There's some cool stuff at the beginning on the guitar, though, I think. But what do I know? I'm just the guy here creating in the moment. Oh, goodness, guys. So, a little music, some truth stories about being beat up in 7th grade. Mike Green, Guardian Angel. It's a good show. You know? Of course, we did have the 1775 Bible. I wanted to get into some verses with you guys today on that. But, you know, we get going. You know, we were playing, we're music in it, you know, and like we got the stories. I didn't even get to the stories today. I was going to tell you guys a couple cool stories going on. I kind of started the show, teased you with the stories. So I guess we'll have to go there tonight. Part 2. Day 1843 in a row, part 2. Yeah. We know it's somewhere around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Try not to get on close to 10 o'clock. I want to be on earlier than that, guys, because brother needs to get some sleep, you know. Waking up in the a.m., we're making our phone calls for real estate before we come out here and rock a song out for you, right? So I appreciate you guys on TikTok. If you can head over to YouTube, please help me build out that platform. There is a group of people that continues to support me every day on YouTube, and they're amazing. And if you could join them, this group gets better and stronger every day. And I keep saying it's a family, this is like a family show, so bring your family in. Tell your friends, tell your brothers or sisters, your parents, your grandparents. This is a show for everybody. Music is universal. This is 432 hertz whenever I'm playing for you, so you're getting healing music. And I like to write in the moment on this drum here that I invented. So a lot of really interesting things going on. I can guarantee you there's tons of other music shows. You guys can find a ton of other guys playing guitar, ton of other guys singing, ton of other guys writing music, but only one guy invented the only drum for guitar players and patented it. And I think that should be a show in its own. Like, that should get us millions of viewers on itself, that there's a new instrument for the world that's being played every single day. Like, that's another reason. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But like Helen said, I'm here for you guys. And the fact that Helen's here now proves the point that S-Coop and I were making, which is that this is a show for people, and when they realize it, they're going to join. But the journey is something I have to be comfortable with, even though it's not comfortable when you do this every day and you can't reach the world that could help you get enough advertising dollars to make this make sense. I am married with 3 kids, and a big question is, when are you going to stop? You know, you're not making any money for this. When are you going to stop? You know, like, this is, people don't spend money on things, to spend time on things they don't make money at. And I'm like, the world is dying. And I don't know if this helps. This probably isn't helping my real estate business, to be honest. I wish it did, because that would be perfect. Then I could just, you know, but like, realistically, if I can't make money at this and I'm hurting my real estate business, you know what I mean? So my hope is that you guys continue to do what you've been doing, which I'm getting new comments from everybody, which is awesome. Helen's been sending comments, and Barella always sends comments, and S-Coop and everybody else, Trish Killian. So please, if you guys are out there and you see this message, Renee Woods always sends messages too. Please keep hitting the channel with comments and liking the videos and sharing them, because the more you interact, YouTube has said this already, the more people interact with your channel, the more we'll show your channel to people. So let's see if that's true. After 5 years in a row, it hasn't proven true yet, but maybe we can see that become true in 2024. So I'll leave it to you guys. Do you like this show enough that you want to see it grow? If you do, hit us up on YouTube. The link is in my bio here on TikTok. And subscribe, turn on the bell. I'm on twice a day, every day of the year. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't have a script. But I'll tell you, it's going to be 432 music. It's going to be a guy who's living in the moment, telling you how he feels about things. If you're on board with that, we have a lot of comedy here too. 9 feature films, all kinds of crazy stuff. We have a comedy I have to film here, by the way. I have a first piece of it done. It's the fart comedy number 3. The first 2 are ridiculous if you want to see them. Anyway, YouTube it, guys. 4,000 pieces of content there. I will be back later. Wish me luck. If you have any real estate leads for me, buy or sell, I can help you. A-Play sent me over a couple questions the other day that I answered yesterday, I believe. If you have any questions for real estate you want me to answer, I'm happy to give you my take after 15 years of buying and selling real estate, and also with a building background. I can give you a really unique perspective. So just ask. I'm happy to help. No matter where you are in the country, it's kind of, real estate's kind of universal when the basic, you know, idea behind it and how you buy, how you sell. So I'm happy to give you my insights. But come back later for the music. Right? King Kong, you rock, my friend. Varela in the house, you rock, buddy. Let me see. And King Kong's been leaving comments. I get all these great comments from King Kong. Guys, I'm telling you, that's what it's about. The more you interact. And then the other thing I saw the other day, I think it was Renee responded to somebody else. And like, hey, what's up? It was like, hey, Hilly, I forget what it was. Or, hey, Helen. She goes, hey, Helen. And I'm like, this is what it's about. Comments that get comments that get comments. And now you guys are interacting with each other in somebody else's comments. Then YouTube sees that as, oh, people like this channel. So the more you could do to help that, it's better. I try to respond to all of them I can, but I don't think that they put as much weight into me responding to comments as they do to other people commenting on comments. So let's see. I think this is going to be a group effort in order to reach people like Helen, people like King Kong and Hilly Billy in order to bring them into the show. Hilly Billy's been with us for a very long time, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to make the point here that there are more Helens out there. There are more A-plays out there. And together, guys, we're doing something special here, and I appreciate you being here. You know, NG17 just found the show and has been here every day. That's my point. It's not that people can come every day, but that they know I'm here every day and that they can show up whenever they have a chance to. What I can't stand, really quickly, is when I get a comment on YouTube from a guy telling me how to handle my Bible, that I should be handling it like how he wants me to handle it. But the guy, that's the first thing he's ever seen of my 4,000 pieces of content. And he's criticizing how I handle my 1775 Bible. But he's never seen any of the 4,000 pieces of content, the 5 years in a row I've been live every single day, the 9 feature films, 209 songs on iTunes and Spotify. He hasn't heard or seen any of it. He doesn't even know who I am. He sees a clip through another creator using my content to get views, and then he's criticizing. And I'm thinking, they brought you to the more important thing. You think the Bible, the 1775 Bible, is so important. It's a Bible, guys. Oh, they changed things. They've kept you from the most exciting experience for the last 5 years, which is a live creation show that we just get away from it all. That to me is better than a 1775 Bible. I read the 1775 Bible anytime you want, okay? But that drew you to the thing they really don't want you to find. I'm so thankful I have this thing, because without it, you wouldn't have found me. And someone was like, it's so funny, I saw another comment, and I had to applaud a couple people for blasting this guy. He was like, you're selfish for not making copies and getting that Bible out to everybody, you know? And I'm like, I didn't see this comment because it was a couple weeks ago. Someone said to him, you know, let me get this straight. A guy who owns the Bible makes content for you to have that content, and you're calling him names and telling him that he should give you more? Like, and he said, do better. And I said, just a quick response, I said, I show up here for 5 years in a row every day. I don't make any money for the show. You want me to also carve out more time in my life to somehow make photocopies of 1,500 pages? And then not make, what am I, throw money at that too because you want a copy of my Bible? No, tune in if you want to hear me read the Bible. It's been with me every day since I started the show. There's maybe a reason why I never got CV and I never got any bugaboos. I didn't listen to Dr. Weasel Frauci. I didn't listen to any of that crap because I had God on my side. I had a 1775 Bible right here protecting this show and me as I take this mission of showing up every day for this world that's dying. I've been here 1,843 days in a row. I'll be back later and then tomorrow. And so when does this streak end? I don't know, but it's not going to be because of the man. It's not going to be because somebody else takes my Bible out of my hands because they want it. I'll tell you one quick story. I've rolled one 300 game in my life. I love to bowl. Got 2 bowling balls. I was bowled in a league for a year with one of my best friends right after high school. I told you, all these friends. Pete Dowd was one of my best friends after high school for about 2 years. We joined a bowling league because we loved The Big Lebowski, the best bowling movie ever. If you haven't seen it, nobody fought with Jesus. You got to see that movie. It's hilarious. Anyway, the dude, I used to do all the impressions of those guys, and we loved that movie. And so we went bowling, and my bowling style, if you scroll back on TikTok and watch some of my bowling, I show you some of my strikes. It looks like I'm DeJesus. I literally wanted to throw the ball like DeJesus in that movie. I bring the ball up way over my head and all this crazy stuff. It's the craziest spin ball. And so I look like I'm a really good bowler, but I don't know anything about it. I can mimic. I can do impressions. I can mimic what people look like and do it. My son's good at pitching that way. He can pitch like any pitcher. It's pretty amazing to see. He'll be Clayton Kershaw. Then he'll be Justin Verlander. And it looks exactly like those guys. And I'm like, he's just able to move into the motion of these guys and show it off. I'm like, man, but that's the same way I am with bowling. I'm like, okay, this is how DeJesus throws the ball. I'm going to throw the ball like that. So anyway, long story short, I'm in the 10th frame. I got a perfect game going. I just have to throw one more strike for my next 300, my second 300 of my life. And there's a league that had just tied up down the alley, and they're all standing around watching me as I'm bowling strike after strike. I'm killing it. And I'm here in the last frame, and dude comes up behind me, And they're all standing around. This guy was a friggin' jerk. He's standing there with his bowling ball. He's like this. And he's going, and they're all applauding it from strike to strike. And I remember I'm walking. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm walking to the ball rack, to the return. And as I'm going, I hear the guy who's got his ball like this. He goes, all right, let's go already. I want to go home. Literally what he said. All right, let's go already. I want to go home. And what did freaking idiot me do? Oh, let me go grab my ball and go. I didn't take the time. I didn't say, fuck you, dude. Go home. No one's waiting for you to stay here. No one needs you to stay here for my last strike. But I listened to him because he thought I was being selfish. Oh, you're not going to throw that ball right now? You know, with his jerky attitude back there, I grab the ball and I throw a 9. Still remember that moment. Like, why the fucking hell did I listen to that piece of garbage back there? I'm not saying this guy's a piece of garbage by any means, but I'm just saying, don't come into someone's chat who's offering you free stuff and say, give me more free stuff. Oh, you're selfish for not giving me the whole Bible. Like, okay, 1,500 pages. I haven't made 1 penny, except for people like Helen who donate. I haven't made 1 penny for the show in 5 years daily. And you want me to now go and spend how much time and money to print out a Bible for you? So I don't know if that guy will see this message, but you're being ridiculous, dude. You know what I mean? You want to donate $500 to me and have me go print out my Bible? I'll do that. But don't ask me to do it and say, oh, I'll give you some money later. Excuse me, I'm done of doing free shit and never getting anything back for it, okay? I put on a show for free every day of positivity and comedy and music. That's what you get. I'll read the Bible occasionally for you, but this thing's here protecting the show. There's an American Revolutionary War soldier that owned this Bible and fought for our independence here in America, right next to George Washington. That's this Bible. I'll keep that with me forever. I have no intention of having it leave my side. I'm not bringing it to a place and leaving it for a week so they could scan it. All right, because you want it, you know. Go get your own 1775 Bible. They're online. You could buy one. $300, $400, $500. Go ahead, go buy it. But to ask me to go and now give you more is mental. It's just mental, and I think that's weird. That was a very selfish thing for this guy to put out there, you know. But I was very proud of the subscriber follower on TikTok who smashed that dude in the face. And said, you know what? Who are you? You know? Oh, you should go. Oh, and then he's like, this is the other thing. The follow-up was like, I guess like using your Bible in order to get views. Like that's what people do these days. Excuse me, I've gotten no views for the 4,000 pieces of content I put out to date. If I'm getting views on my 1775 Bible, you better freaking be sure I'm going to keep broadcasting and sharing my 1775 Bible, because they won't let you see any of the other amazing stuff that happens here. So this Bible is a catalyst. It's a connector to the thing they really don't want you to be a part of, which is a daily show of connection and truth. The Bible has a lot of truth in it. There's more truth here than in that Bible. We're living here in the moment. This is where everything is happening. It was a different time in history. Right here, what they're trying to keep from you is something that can change our existence. That can't change our existence anymore. We already have all of the basic info from it. Question is, will they allow us to be divided here so we cannot come together as one? And will they allow you to be kept from the one show that's been here for 5 years in a row promoting that concept of everybody all in? So I hope to see you on YouTube. I hope to see you when I read that 1775 Bible, when I read the 1793 Principles of Faith. We're going to do it all. We're going to read it all, but it's not even this. I have no intention of printing out my 1793 Principles of Faith and going to some Staples and say, hey, take my book from 1793 and why don't you go and make copies for me? It's mine. It's mine. I'll read it for you. But like this idea that you're going to allow your prized book, you know, to be given to somebody else. I had a couple people to like, send it to me. I'll make copies for you. I'm like, why would I get rid of my Bible? I don't understand. Like, what? Again, 1,843 days in a row, no Covey-Bovey. That Bible has been my protector. That Bible. Stephen Howell and his family. It's a powerful thing to know that that Bible was owned by a Revolutionary War soldier. I'm going to go to his grave. I'm going to go to his gravesite, guys. I want to get his tombstone and shoot a video there, bring the Bible back home to him. I don't know if you guys would like to see that, but I feel like that would be a pretty cool thing to shoot. My drive out to Sag Harbor, New York, and then film the entire thing when I go to his gravesite, to his birth, not his birth, his death, his crypt, and see what's there. Say a couple of prayers and read from his Bible. Like, he held that Bible in his hand, and it's Sag Harbor's like 2 hours away. It's not like it's 10 hours from here. So like, I got to do that. I think that would just be a great piece of content. Just to also to finish off the story. Told you guys the story many times about Stephen Howell, but to actually see his grave marker would be pretty cool. And it probably mentions something about his service for this country. But I found that interesting. Sag Harbor still is probably one of the most expensive parts in New York. So back then, he was probably the super rich guy, and he sees George Washington stroll into town on a horse, saying, "I need men to come and fight with me against the British." This guy left his family, left his thriving business, I assume, because he's in Sag Harbor, and he fought for this country. And his hands were on that Bible every single day with his family, reading from it and teaching his children from this Bible here. So there's a spirit connected to this, intertwined with this 1775 Bible that no one else has the right to, except for the host of the longest running daily variety show on the planet. I believe I've earned that Bible. And I preemptively earned it. I owned it and then started this show in 2018. And something has given me the strength and the power to keep showing up every day since. And I don't know anybody else on earth that could say that to you. They all take breaks. They'll take Christmas off, birthdays off, Easter. I'm here every day of the year, 5 years, and I have 3 kids and a wife. Partially insane, maybe, or completely here to try to make a difference. Not sure yet. We'll figure it out. Anyway, hit me up on YouTube, fam and friends, The Mark Inspires Show. If there's nothing more I could say that could inspire you, just the idea that I've been here for 1,843 days in a row during this entire freaking debacle of existence that we've been dealing with should be inspiring on its own. Until later. Billy Thomason, that's Renee Woods, guys, and she's over on Facebook. Let's go over here and say good afternoon to you guys. I will be back later for part 2 of the show. So if you have anything you want me to talk about, or if you have a topic for tonight's show, that would be pretty cool too, because I have no idea what I'm going to make the show about yet. That's kind of par for the course. An hour and 22 minutes in, Joanne. Gosh almighty. We try to do an hour show, because if we do longer than that, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, right, guys? I think I could do 74 hours. Doesn't matter whether I do 13 minutes or 74 hours to YouTube. Marfugel, my buddy Adam, said that you have to make shorter content, and even your shows, don't make them too long, because YouTube hits you if you're not keeping people on long enough. So if I do a 2-hour show, but Hilly comes on for 5 minutes or something like that, it's actually a negative that someone came on and didn't spend 2 hours with me. It's like, so he's like, his point was try to do an hour. And I said, that makes sense. And he said, try to do more 2-minute pieces of content and ask your people to watch all 2 minutes. So I'm going to ask you what Adam Marfugel said to me, which he said, please ask your subscribers and people who do care about your show to watch all your content in full, leave a comment, and share it if they can. He said, that is the way you grow. So I'll take his advice on that. He's got over 200,000 subscribers. Marfugel News, give him a subscribe if you haven't yet. Adam's a great guy, and he and Dex do a great job providing the news to people. I do it a little differently. It's a little comedy news here, and we don't cover the same stories ever, it seems like. But I would say that that's really sound advice from somebody who's found their success on YouTube. So if you can help on that journey, you see a 4-minute, 5-minute piece of content, stick around for the whole thing. There's a reason it's 5 minutes, by the way, guys. My comedy develops. So something that's funny in the first 2 minutes, it gets funnier as you go, because I hit on the jokes over and over. And even the news stories, there's a reason they're as long as they are, because there's information I'm providing for you. My news stories are not short little snippets. I read the entire story for you. And now they're interactive as well. So, I don't know. I'm continuing to try to evolve my content to be exactly what you guys want instead of what I feel like creating. I think I could create content out of anything and songs out of anything, but I'll write songs you want to hear. I'll write and create comedy and news stories that you want me to be doing, so you guys will come and watch the full content. So let me know. This is as interactive as it will ever get on this show. You could guide me and show me what you'd like me to create, and I'll do it. Right now we had John Luca the other day said, do a Chasing History on the Essenes and on the Dead Sea Scrolls. I haven't done either yet. I'm going to start working on those. But this is what I'm talking about. This is a subscriber who wants to see something specific, and I'm going to do it. I'll do that for you. You just have to ask. I joke that I'm this monkey with the symbols and the stupid hat on with the tinsel thing with the tassel. Yeah, I'll literally, whatever I could do to break you away from this crappy world for a minute. I'm not saying it's all crappy, because it's not. There's a lot of redeeming qualities to our existence, but most of them are just ingrained in existence. They were here before us, and that's the thing that we should hold on to. But the stuff that we're creating as a society is... So, hopefully we can kind of do something special with our own time here, you know? I will be back later. Treetop. I got to get the Treetop song out for Hilly. What's it called again? Treetop Flyer. Treetop Flyer. I'm going to pull that up actually right now, Hilly, just so I see it here. Treetop Flyer. That is one that Hilly's been asking for forever. And I have to watch it and learn it. It sounded, I think I tuned it in for 2 seconds. Let's just hear it. Let's hear it real quick. Oh, I know why.
I could be a rambler from the 7.
All right, I got to listen to this. Hilly, the first issue that I realized is that it's a drop tuning. That this is, yeah, that's the E, it's a D. Goes all the way down to a D. So what I'd have to do is play it on a different guitar. I actually take out an acoustic for that and drop D tuning. I think that's what that's called. And so I'll work that song out for you, brother. I really appreciate it. Where do you get this Bible? I got the Bible from a client of mine whose father passed away and asked me to sell the house. I'm a real estate agent. When I finished it up, he needed me to clear the house or meet the people who were clearing the house. And he said, I'm getting rid of everything. And I said, do you mind if I take the instruments? And he said, yeah, take whatever you want. So I found 3 books that I kept with the instruments. One of them is the 1863 Union Prayer Meeting Hymns, which is kind of cool. This is what the soldiers brought during the Civil War out in the field, and they'd say their prayers. This is the 1793 Confessions of Faith, which is a this is the Quaker Bible, and the 1775 King James Version, which is also a 1776 New Testament. So that 1776 New Testament was printed while we were earning our freedom here in America. It's pretty sweet. So these 3 books are now here in the room with me. I'm happy to read any of them for you guys. Like, I still think it'd be cool to do the 1863 Civil War hymn book too, and read some of this. And this book is tattered. There's no back page, but still, it's kind of cool to have this. And this one I think is pretty wild. The Principles of Faith. This is a Quaker Bible. This would be kind of cool to read that, right? And understand like what the heck was in here. What are the Quakers about? You know, 1793 Quaker Bible. I like it. We have all these other things. Holy Scriptures, practical use therein. Edinburgh, the Sum of Saving Knowledge. Yeah, it's all crazy cool stuff here. But I think in general, these books, I don't know the value on them, to be honest. I think this is very rare because it's numbered to like 85 or 87. But they're more intrinsic value for me, just the fact that they're here while I broadcast this show daily, something from the 1700s. Pretty cool. So I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. More cowbell. Hilly wants more cowbell. Guys, you come down, you hang out, have a good time. Christopher Walken, you talk the talk. You talk the talk. You walk the walk. Christopher Walk. In one line. To the sun. Oh. I'm hearing something here. What the hell is that? Oh. Somebody turned on the distortion pedal. Guys, YouTube it, please. Join us over there and subscribe. The link is in the bio. It looks like I'm sitting on air. I'm actually sitting on the only drum in the world for guitar players. Kicking it with your feet. Kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. Guys, BeatSeat.rocks. Get yours. Nothing automated here. This is all manual percussion with your feet while you play your guitar. And you have the perfect seat to play your guitar, by the way. Look, my legs aren't like this, like a cajon makes you sit. Like this, like a guitar player. That's how I designed it. Perfect guitar seat, only drum in the world for guitar players, sounds like a drum kit. Guys, what are you waiting for? And I build it for you too. That's what we call the trifecta. Quafecta, because I also cut the wood myself and let it dry downstairs, so I'm building the BeatSeat out of wood that I actually cut from a log in my backyard. Right? Alaskan chainsaw mill. Anyway, guys, I'll be back later. We'll talk more. It's interesting. This is something we did recently. We built a BeatSeat, built a cane, 2 canes, built a sword to protect the 1775 Bible. I'm thinking either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to set up the cameras again and we're going to build a table. I got to build a new table for my show here. And I got this walnut I cut this summer. One of them is 2.5 inches thick. It's this beautiful piece of walnut. And I think I'm going to build a table. I've never done that before. So that may be an episode where we just build a table and see how it goes. I don't know. May go horribly. We're building a table on the Mark and Spire show. My point is that I will do anything and everything to keep you entertained and excited. We've got to build a table to put that 1775 Bible on, guys. It's actually on the BeatSeat over here. You got to go away, yeah. I will see you guys later. Please have an awesome day. If you can affect a positive change out there in this world, you're helping the mission of this show. That is the motto of this show. So, when you see someone, smile at them. If you can, hold the door for them. Whatever you can do in order to build your own spirit up in the day-to-day, do it. We have to take the little wins because there's a lot of losses out there. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. You got to go away. Yeah. You got to go away. See you later.